My question is to the Minister of Children and Youth. Minister, you'll know that over 80 kids have attempted suicide. Some have succeeded in the last year alone. You'll know that Pegatano is one of the agencies that is charged with making sure that we make those kids safe. And imagine the frustration that they have once they've applied for funding from the Ministry of Attorney General from the Victims of Violence program. They'd been approved in order to get money, in order to intervene with some of these kids that are high at risk. Imagine their surprise when they're told last week the money will not be flowing because of the funding crisis that you refuse to deal with up to now. My question simply is this: why are you allowing this funding crisis to remain, knowing that it's going to prevent the very services that are needed in order to assist some of these kids that are at risk of suicide?
Sure.
Thank you very much, Speaker, and I'm pleased to have an opportunity once again to provide an update into this House as to the work that's being undertaken by my ministry, by myself, by folks within the regional office in the Ministry of Children and Youth Services to tackle the critically important issues and to help Pegatano support their community. I had an opportunity Friday, Speaker, to speak to the Executive Director, members of the board, and other individuals at Pegatano and talk to them firsthand about the ongoing work that we are doing both at a regional level and at the ministry to tackle the issues with respect to both short-term and long-term sustainability. The issue with respect to the decision having been made with respect to funding from the Ministry of Attorney General is one that was brought to my attention on December 2nd. I spoke to them during my call with them, and I committed to them to work very closely with the Attorney General to ensure that Aboriginal children are protected and supported, and that's exactly what we'll do, Speaker.
Supplementary.
Minister, why does it take a crisis in order for us in this legislature, and more specifically your government, to deal with what is an epidemic on the James Bay coast when it comes to suicide? This issue has been around for a while. You've known for a while that what's been going on in regards to the risk of suicide on the James Bay. There has been funding that was applied to. Now I'm hearing from you that maybe it's going to get freed, maybe it's not going to cut it. We need to know today, are you committing that the funding crisis will be resolved on the case of Pegatano and other child and family services agencies in this province so they don't have to shut down come this January? And will the funding flow in order to allow the funding needed in order to be able to deal with those kids at risk?
Thank you very much, Speaker. And as I have said before, we will not allow children in this province to be at risk. We are working every day to find a better future for those children, and it has not been a recent initiative of our government to tackle these issues. And in fact, our Aboriginal Healing and Wellness Strategy crisis intervention teams in the north, a total funding of $1.8 million for crisis intervention workers, are just a few examples of the work that's being done right across the province. Speaker, I've been questioned in this House whether or not folks within my ministry are working collaboratively with the executive leadership of Pegatano. And I can tell you, Speaker, that one thing that has come from the work that the individuals on site in Moosonee have been able to do is, in fact, Speaker, by going through the records, by going through the books, they have been able to ensure and identify $300,000 that needs to come to this agency. We work collaboratively with them. I committed that to them, Speaker, as I spoke to them on the phone